So you should be good.
Cool. Oh, there we go. Excellent. So, if you're not familiar with this game, you have to let the intro play because it fixes like the RNG seed, which doesn't. It actually matters a lot. It makes like the game really repeatable and removes a lot of the randomness. But the fun fact and the fun part of that is like if you're like Dave, much more so Dave than myself, you've heard this music. Like I can tell you the note on which it stops and starts like the actual intro. But yeah, and then you get your choice of chipmunk, and if you pick chip, you're wrong. So, I'll count it down if you want for the timer. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And then other than that, if you haven't seen this game before, it is, Chip and Dale, Disney characters. Classic Nintendo platform. I hit the bike spikes. Excellent. We're off to a great start. Yeah, so Dave, feel free to chime in and say whatever you want throughout the process. But yeah, it's a really great game. The controls really, really well. The controls feel really solid. It's a pretty quick run to pick up. I think I played this casually when I started, just to play through it. I think it took me like 35 minutes, something like that, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty easy one to beat originally. Mine is J. There's a little bit of tricky stuff in J, I think, when you go through it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I'm really happy that MirI threw his hat in the ring. I've actually known MirI for a really long time now.
Yeah, and I am... Oh, I forgot my intro to introduce myself. Yeah, I am part of the Washed Up Speedrunner Hour. So, the last time I wouldn't even say competitively, but was kind of seriously trying to push a time in this game was several years ago. Entering that on 105 is not... This isn't a blistering pace, but this isn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. And I didn't flub the boss. All right, good start.
Yeah, no, it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we might even get under 11. Let's not get too.
We gotta set our bar higher, man. This is the PB run, right now.
I mean, it's probably close to on pace. Yeah, it could happen. I don't really have any. I have some time save in the boxes. I don't remember any of the letters of the stages because the alphabet is very hard.
Do you want to talk about? Oh, I guess no. Sorry, never mind.
So yeah, this is somewhat new. You're supposed to jump up and down on these, but technically any action works. So you can kind of just sit here and manipulate this box and turn these taps on and off, which is kind of fun. And then I have a really busted strat to get over this pot that apparently nobody else does, or maybe it's the next set of pots. But there's a lot of weird, I don't want to call them bugs, but quirks of this game where that fly didn't attack me. I don't think that was intended. Oops. I think it's supposed to actually come after you.
Well,
but
kind of.
Depending on.
Yeah. So how that works is actually it's tied into the demo RNG lock.
So
there's certain enemies, and there's only a few certain enemies that are like that, and one of them is actually the fly.
Oh come on! I threw the ball the wrong way. It's okay. We're just gonna miss out on the quick kill here, or the kill at all. No. Here, I'll show you the quick kill now. What it was supposed to be. Well, this is the mediumly quick kill. There's a half cycle faster, but that one's okay. So you can see, I zigged when I should have zagged. I threw the ball to the right. I should have thrown it to the left. And all of the sprites in this, the hitboxes are bigger than the sprites, but the sprites are rendered by the borders of the sprites. I'm not paying any attention. I'm just reading the text now. And so on that boss right there, there's a couple spots where you can hit it off screen. So that's kind of what happened when you saw me throwing the ball at the wall. It takes 5 hits, but it probably only really looks like I hit it 2 or 3 times. There's a much faster strategy to get through those that involve turning left, but Zoolander problems. And that to me is the raid boss of this entire game.
Yeah.
If you can get past that one, it's one of the few jumps in the game where you can't do a full jump and there's no real setup. It's completely timing based.
It is completely by feel.
It is terrible. I hate it. And then for reasons I don't understand, and I'm not even going to play with it, if for some reason if you touch that flower and try to jump at the same time, the game just eats your jump. I have no idea why.
Yeah, that one's a mystery. I don't think anybody ever solved that, because this game, as you kind of said at the very beginning, actually, I would go so far to say, has the best controls, I think, on the NES. But the one spot that the game can kind of screw you is that flower. And your jump will get eaten there if you walk over the flower and try to jump. And I don't think anybody understood why. It has something to do with yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then what's really annoying about it is like, if it eats your jump, that's if. Oh, yeah, it's alright. If that wasn't bad enough, like, you then get hit by the bird. I'll try to show this off. So if I had gone for another damage boost earlier, well, now it doesn't look as cool. You can actually die while the boss is beat, but I hit him twice, and if you die there, it's fine.
Oh man, you
but
still
I now
got the double
realize
shot.
like,
It's endearing. I like that you went for the double shot and you got the double shot.
Yeah, so you're supposed to kind of get that strategy earlier. There's a section earlier on where I was supposed to use a damage boost, so the damage boost in this game, you'll see one coming up here. This is the easiest one to see. If you just turn around, you get kind of blasted backwards. So if you're careful about when you turn your character around, you can get a little bit of forward momentum. And so yeah, that's what I was supposed to do that off one of those big gray balls that was earlier in the last level, but I didn't. So here we are. And as a result, when I went to fight the robot, I had 2 health instead of 1. And so if you have 1 health, what you end up doing is throwing the ball up to get 2 hits at the same time. But you hit it once on the way up, the robot moves further out and kills you, but then it gets hit on the way back down as well. And for reasons like the game prioritizes the enemy's death over your own, so it actually doesn't matter if you're dead as long as you kill whatever it may be that you're fighting. Yeah, I hate that jump. I'd never get that right.
It's also pretty tricky when you're new. Like, that's one where...
Oh, whoops, we're going up. Alright, I always go down. I don't know why I'm up here. Alright. We're on the top, I guess.
Yeah, there's ironically no difference from the top to bottom, so...
Yeah. This is one of the levels where I think there's, like, very little in the way of, like, ways to screw this up, and, like, execution-wise, I think this is, like, one of the easier ones. For more unbeknownst reasons, hitting that guy with that box despawns one of these 2 bombs, which saves you time, because you don't have to take time picking the second one up. So that's kind of an interesting thing. With 1 health, there's a good chance, because I'm not very good at the... Oh, I remembered. I was about to say that I get hit by a fly in a second and die and have to redo this level, but we're okay. We managed to save it. So yeah, just some more basic platforming. This is the hardest boss in the game. Yeah, so he's going to sit here and do that, and you gotta hit him with the ball 5 times. So, interestingly enough, 3 of the 6 bosses in this game are exactly that mechanic. You pick a ball up, and you throw it up in the air with what is honestly not really that difficult of timing, and when you hit the boss, they die. So, the final boss, the first boss, and that one are all kind of the same mechanic. You just throw the ball up. This is my favorite level. I hope I get kind of a good run through here, because this one looks, I think, quite cool and quite platformy when done correctly, so I'm sure I'll not do that. And the only thing I wanted to say is, you see me take a very momentary pause there, and for more reasons I don't understand, that despawns a crab that would have been there, which makes it so we can go much faster. There's a way to jump over that crab, but I hate that crab, so I kill it anyways. And then, yeah, so we're going to go up here and do all this stuff, and then go visit this guy. And there's like a minor time save here. If you can jump up and pick up that box, you don't have to wait for that flying squirrel. You can just hit him there, which is kind of cool. Alright, that's the most nerve-wracking part in my opinion, so that's good. We're past that. I do oftentimes also, it's okay, jump into that pit there, so I played that a little bit safe. But you can actually, I just had to take an extra jump there.
That was a really good boost, because I knew that you were going to fall into that guy, and you saw that.
Oh, yep, I knew that as well. As soon as I jumped, I was like, yep, I'm short, and I had to try to remember if I had enough health.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that was a good adjustment.
I think we're going for it here. I hate this level. This level's terrible. There's nothing interesting about it, and I hate these birds, and yeah, this level is just awful. There's like some faster strats now since when the last time I was doing this, where you're supposed to jump over them, and so the last time I played this, I hit them with the boxes. I practiced for a little while for this, and oh boy.
Wait. Learn on the fly.
It's
okay.
Right.
Next Pelican.
Well, alright, we've got one more coming up.
Yeah.
And that's terrible, because you lose like 5 seconds.
Wait. Next Pelican, I promise you, just push A and B. Wait. Right here, just push A and B together. Oh, you're just bringing the box with you, huh?
Oh my god, what am I doing? Hey, this is why we don't do this! This is why we don't learn on the fly!
No, just push A
Like,
and B!
why do I hit A and B at the same time? What would that have done?
You'll see. I promise you. It's free. This is the freest input you'll ever do in this game.
Okay, since we've already died and I have extra health now, what are we doing?
Okay, when you grab the box, I'll tell you
Which
when to push A and B. So grab the box for the pelican.
Oh my god. Isn't there a grid like this one?
Yeah, and then just push A and B together. There. Done!
Oh!
That box
Can I
has
do
an
it for the
acorn?
same guy too?
Yeah, stand on the top box, push A and B.
Oh yeah, I see.
Done! See? Free!
No! We actually had like a reasonably solid pace until we lost a minute and a half of me redoing that level, so
I know.
that's okay. I think we'll still be we'll hit the sub 12, I think.
I think so. I believe. You want to know where that came from?
I want to probably like Tracy or someone if I had to guess.
Sinister.
Oh, Sinister, yeah.
He figured out. He was like, there's certain box throws like that. Oh, shut up one sec. There's an audio cue here, so.
Oh, I got it! No, but then I dropped the ball! Oh, it's okay, we have 2 health. Alright, we're alright.
There you go.
Yeah,
good
so
job.
there's like, when it goes dun-na-na-na-na-na, dun, on the dun, you have to throw the ball up. And it gives you just enough time to hit him a 3rd time, which makes the 2nd cycle slightly faster. Which is totally irrelevant because I died and wasted a minute and a half in the last one, but, you know, it looks kind of cool. I don't know how to do this part, so I just get hit by this guy and get hit by this guy, and I just don't care. Although now that I'm realizing I probably shouldn't have taken the 2nd hit. Where I keep it back here. Alright, cool. And then this is like the last part, which is like notoriously the most difficult, but I don't go for like the crazy strats here. And I think that at some point, I don't know if I was like, why do I have 2 health?
Because you only recovered with 1.
Oh, that's not a magical one?
No, it's not a magical.
Oh. Well, I got to show off 1 axe boost. Here, yes, okay. It's a purposeful death because I want to show off the axe boost.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see the axe boost.
Alright, we're still gonna be... Oh, no we're not. Go away. Alright, this is fine. That's a lag reduction strat right there. You'll saw that the screen was very laggy until I took like 3 times as long to do that as I should have. Alright, so the idea here is you can do the same kind of damage boost we were doing earlier, but off of these axes. Pretty cool.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, we're gonna be surprisingly closest to Dave's guesstimate about my time. Although at this point I'm just like randomly throwing boxes. I've kind of forgotten what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, we should be okay. And it's the 2nd box. Alright. Oh, no! I'm gonna be like 3 seconds over. Oh, I hate this. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna do this the super safe way. Oh, so... Uh-oh. I was trying to show off that, like, you can die. Here, I could probably do it again. At this point, it doesn't matter. But I was trying to show off that you can die if you take damage on the same.
There you go, you got it.
It would have... I got so fixated. I was looking at the timer on the stream in the background. I'm like, oh, it's going to be exactly 12 minutes. This is going to be incrable.
Takate believed before you threw the ball sideways and then got killed. Like, his GG came before that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh, this is easy, and then I threw the ball to the right for absolute. In my defense, that's also what happened with the. Oh, what do you call them? I don't even know the names of any of the bosses. The little spaceship boss.
I don't know.
The same thing. I was fine until I threw the ball the wrong way. But yeah, that's like very little practice in a game I haven't played in a long time. When I had to move to a new controller with different buttons, so I think that was a lot of why I was throwing stuff the wrong way. But. It's a fun game. Honestly, I think it's quite enjoyable, even just casually, and I think it's really fun because there's not any crazy tricks. It's really just about execution. So it's a game that if you play just even like, half a dozen to a dozen times, you can really see your time go down. So I think it's like a really nice intro to starting to get into speedrunning if you're interested. So yeah, MirI, I'm going to do some commentary for the disaster that is the next game, which will be equally as funny, hopefully. And yeah, we'll get that set up, and then, yeah, thanks for having me, Dave. It was a ton of fun. I'm glad that it was even 12:18. Oh, it would have been perfectly fine if I didn't have a panic attack and do whatever I did with the pelican at that level. But, I think that's the longest time loss in the whole game, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Well,
I think that is literally the most time you can lose on one screen is the end of I.
Minus J, yeah, it's pretty bad. I deaths and H deaths are also pretty bad, but...
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you manage to make it up to the climb and, like, into the back and fall in the pit, H is pretty bad as well. Yeah.
Yep.
But cool. I think we'll get set up for the next one, and yeah.
Sure.
You want to add anything, Dave?
No, you did good. Like, people have seen a lot of Chippendale on this channel. I am thrilled that you decided to submit Chippendale and then show it off in a way that it's kind of brand new, because I think it's just cool. Like, I like how it's almost like a passing of the torch or something like that. So it's always kind of
yeah, and I do a lot of weird junk because, like, I don't know, I don't think I watched a video when I started learning it, so I still have, you can call them bad habits or quirks or whatever, but yeah, I take different routes than a lot of people. I know I don't do the pots like anybody else does because the other way is easier, but trying to fight the muscle memory of however many thousands of runs is just impossible, so I do the pots like I do the pots. Don't do pots, kids. Like, drugs are bad.
It's really cool to see where it begins, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like, you know, I had a death, right? It was probably like an 11-ish time with the strategies I was doing and not dying and messing up all over the place. So I think it's a pretty fun game. Oh, you've already switched off of mine, thank God. I can turn that awful music off now. I've just heard the Chippendale music so many times.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not even going to go to the transition screen. I'll just go like this and load it, and then we're good. So we can be back unless you want to break or anything. That's it. We're here. We're back. Welcome back.
Wait, can you share it? Screen share it to the Discord though,
sorry,
so that I don't have a delay.
I can totally do that.
Otherwise, it'll be me commentating on wrestlers that were already knocked out.
Yes. So fair warning. It turns out when you have restreamed an entire marathon for like 10 hours now, you're kind of tired. So
oh yeah,
we're going to try to do this anyway. We'll have like a 2 death limit. Otherwise, I'll just say no. Like I'm not gonna try to get through it. But I'll share this with MirI, and then we'll be good to go. So you should be able in a second anyway. Okay, you should be able to see that now.
Cool. I think you've shared everything but what I need to see. I shared the overlay, but not the actual game video.
No. I see what I did. I had 2 windows open. I'm a fool. So let me do that again, because apparently...
we could have done this in the back room, but here...
You know what?
Screen transition, music, more Mario rapping.
You remind me of like that Warner's Brother thing where there's like No, it was actually Simpsons, sorry, where it said technical difficulties. And then they like had like the
technical difficulties is my middle name.
Okay, let's try this again. We have...
I like how you went from your comment to me was, wow, this is the easiest thing I've set up all night, and now we're
I know, I'm the one with technical problems.
It's yours. I'm
sorry, okay? It's 10 hours coming through. Okay.
Too funny.
Okay, there we go. We're not sharing an overlay. It should be this one. Now you should be able to see it. Yes.
It's the game. Let's go.
Alright, sounds good. So, welcome chat. We have a very interesting problem. So we actually grinded this very momentarily. There's like a stretch of like 4 days where I brought the record down from like 21 minutes to like 5 minutes and 30 seconds or something. I have not played that since then. So that's problem number 1. Second problem...
I personally think this is going to go terribly, but like in the best kind of way.
I think it's going to go pretty bad. As I said, I'll keep it to like a 2 death limit or whatever, because otherwise I'm just not going to fight with it.
The thing I do want to preface this with, like, if you've never seen this before, when you see this, especially if like the first 2 fights go well, you're going to be like, why is this even difficult? Like, this just looks so unbelievably trivial. But the controls of this game are so terrible, and like there's so much randomness. It's really hard.
Yeah, it took 30 hours to get a run that was perfect, so we're probably not going to see a perfect run. All 30 hours that I attempted this, I did name the wrestler Peen King. We wanted to immortalize that name, but we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to pick a name that reflects heinous on humanity. We need to pick something truly, truly wicked and truly evil. So we're going to name this wrestler Chat.
Oh God. Nice. I honestly thought you were gonna name it Sean, but alright, Chat's
Wait,
good.
I forgot actually. Sorry. Actually, after the thing, that's where we're gonna do it. But yeah, this is the embodiment of everything. So we'll say.
Yeah, and so just super quick background. The format of this is similar to Punch-Out, where like he'll go into attempt to beat a wrestler. If he beats the wrestler, he gets to fight the next one. But if he loses, he has to go back and fight the one before.
Correct.
And so that's why he mentioned about like a 2-loss minimum, because like you obviously when you're grinding when you're grinding for records, like you just reset. If you lose, it's not a big deal. But like we have to, in theory, get through the game, which I think probably makes this like the worst type of marathon game.
Nice.
And he can't even menu anymore.
No, it's all. You know what? We're not even gonna worry about it. It's gonna be Chat Ildo, which is.
Oh.
It's even worse.
Ildo.
Why is that the end of the? Okay, that's a stupid suffix. Okay, we're gonna go. There we go. We didn't do it.
All right, perfect. Did he? Let's see.
Oh, he's already here. Okay, so there is actual science that goes on between this. It's not just like keep the guy out of the ring, although it is keep the guy out of the ring. Originally, when I was trying to figure out like the best way to keep the guy out of the ring, there was multiple different kind of setups that I had, and I decided on this. Oh, you bitch!
I think that's early.
Yes, I decided. Well, he was actually okay. So there's a couple things to explain here. So first of all, you obviously, like most wrestling games, if you get like a 20 count or whatever, there's like a ring out mechanic. So that's the fastest way. You don't actually want to play like every single wrestling match. So the thing about this game that the world record originally didn't know was the more buttons that you mash, the harder the AI actually becomes. So that was kind of like the first oversight of the world record, because the world record, the original one that was like 21 minutes, the guy mashed furiously from like the very first match. So you're actually rewarded for not pushing as many buttons as possible. And that makes ringing out some of these guys easy, but there's still a huge element of randomness that you have to kind of deal with. So the end goal is to literally do this, as I literally just did there. You kind of knock them around up until about 15 seconds. You very strategically, on a late 15, get them back up, and then you want to mash B to initiate like a headlock. And that's still random depending how they fall. If they fall towards the beginning of the ring, like the first guy did, then they'll basically like fall right in front of the ring and like climb back in. So there's not really anything that you can do there. So yeah, you'll see I'll strategically kick him like this and then go like that. And that basically makes him knock down at 16, and then you have a couple options. You can climb the turnbuckle, or you can kick or punch the air. If you're doing any kind of action, the guys, like, they can't come back in the ring. So I don't know that part, and that's where it gets a little bit confusing, is after a couple of wrestlers, the difficulty does increase. So you can't just kind of like coast your way, and that's when it gets really hard. In particular, there's a wrestler named Mark Rose. I don't know what it is with him. It's not like a necessary meme, and there's also Randy Gomez that comes up later. It's like the 6th and 9th wrestler or something like that. Or maybe it is a meme because that's 6 and 9. But both of those wrestlers become substantially harder to kind of do this tactic on, and they get kind of like overly aggressive. So a lot of runs when I was kind of going through this ended on Mark Rose or Randy Gomez. So the other thing you have to be kind of careful about is, like here for example, he almost went back into the ring. At any point in time after I think 10 seconds or 12 seconds, they're just coded to go back in the ring. They're just immediately going to go in. So ironically, so far everything's going good, which means because I'm pointing that out, it's going to go bad now. And this guy is also kind of annoying too, because he's got like that weird kind of like flying elbow drop that gives him a lot of distance that you don't really want. Sometimes he'll wind up on you, but basically I think you can kind of talk, because the only thing, so this was really late actually, so it's going to be an extremely late headbutt. And see, there we go, we lost. So of course I mentioned it's good. So we get sent back.
Yeah, and a tie is a loss. So
yes.
The really annoying thing is, like, if you draw, you don't just get to fight the same guy again, which would have made the run considerably easier and more consistent. You have to go back.
We forgot this menu existed, so we could do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Doing some powerlifting.
Yeah, we gotta work those muscles, man. So Okay, we're back into the wrestling portion.
Go get him, big boy. So you'll notice this is the guy we fought 2 fights ago now. So not the same guy from the last one, but 2 fights ago.
Yeah,
and this is kind of where the wheels fall off to a degree. Like,
honestly, yes, because like you can.
You may have figured this out, Dave, but I felt like when you lost, the previous guys were also harder the second.
Yes, because I think that's true, and I think that's true because I think the more time that you basically spend like pushing buttons and stuff, like the more the game reads it, and it gets harder and harder. So the idea that you can just keep losing and then come back and then winning, like I don't think it's accurate because they do get harder, and it gets harder and harder to do that. And I never technically tested that in like tasks or anything. But that's the general feel that I get too, because like the more that you
I mean he's just dumping on you right now. Like, although I think we're good here, we might get to go back.
Yes,
nice, good turnbuckle. Yeah, and we don't know specifically why, but I think it has something to do with the way the game manages its state and being like in and out of the ring. But like by starting to climb the turnbuckle, the game thinks like, oh, they're about to try to leave the ring, so the other person can't get back into the ring because then like you would be in some weird state where you were in both. And so it just like makes them sit at the edge, but thankfully the timer keeps running. So like if you don't start to climb that turnbuckle on a lot of these, they would have just come back into the ring and he would have had to try again. That one, he just beat the guy senseless and left him out. So that one was fine. But
yeah, you basically have to knock them down later than 16 to guarantee that they're going to ring out. If it's 15, they have a chance of coming back into the ring based on how they fell. And sometimes they get like an instant recovery, which I'm not exactly sure what happens there either. It's like, okay, see, this is awkward. He's gonna come back in. I don't think I timed that right. Oh, we got
oh, that's like frames from disaster.
Yeah, we got it.
That was very tight. I think there's, what, 2 more now?
Yeah, it's this guy, which is supposed to be Hulk Hogan. He's like a...
And then the boss, by the way, I think he's a surprise boss, right? Isn't this the final fight?
Which one? No.
Like, I think if you actually play the game, they're like, oh, this is the title fight or whatever, and then you beat this guy, and then like some super extreme guy is like, not in my watch, and then you have to actually fight another guy.
Yeah, no, it's the next guy, because it's Randy Gomez, and that's the one that also kind of has, like, crazy AI kind of associated to him sometimes, or if he just wants to end it, he can. So that's... okay, that's...
oh, no.
Yeah. Alright, we'll see. We'll try...
One more. That's 2 losses, so that's your budget.
Yeah. But this is what I mean. I didn't even run this back since I got the record in it, so we kind of assumed like it's gonna go badly. I don't know what an actual run, like if I just completed every single run, what it actually looks like.
I think it's probably like 20 to 25 minutes on average.
I would think like it's got to be pretty high, because like okay, there we go.
Maybe not on average, but like maybe 15. Yeah, and so this is why it's so punishing, and like now that he's lost to this guy, he technically has to go fight the guy. We're now like 3 fights back to get back to even where we just were. They're pretty quick for what it's worth.
They are, but I'll literally say if I lose again, that'll be it. Unfortunately, that's the wrestling career of Chatildo. he wasn't meant to be. But yeah, it's extremely punishing in the sense like if you keep losing like that, like there's not really anything that you can do time-wise. Like it's just that. So we'll chalk that up and see like that. For example, like sometimes they can just break out like incessantly. Oh shoot! Okay, he's gonna come back in. I didn't mean to actually enter the ring there. It's actually worth mentioning too. Like I guard the left side of the ring, like specifically right there. And I keep doing these up kicks to be on the left side of this guy again, because if they go on the left side and they get up, they can immediately go into the ring. But the problem with guarding the ring like that is you're like really close to the ring, so if you push left too far, you go back into the ring.
Yeah,
yourself.
It's very easy to accidentally go in when you were trying to ring them out, and GG.
Yeah, there you go. We're
not
gonna...
the good kind, but it's
yeah.
Yeah,
Goodbye,
I think your intention for running this was that no matter how poorly I did, surely yours would go worse.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Not meant to be. He's a failure.
Chatildo, with his 8-4 record, is going to throw in his hat here and retire.
No. Yeah, I did get the record in this Darkonis. It's like 5:36, and the task is 5:34, like retiming it for SRC. But yeah, there's just too much RNG. I'll chalk it up. It doesn't make sense to me to delay this for like 20 minutes and try to finish it. So we'll get the next guys in queue. But this is like nightmare. Like the more that you lose, I think this is one of those things where it's like maybe like a 2-death limit or something like that, where if you get killed or like knocked out or whatever, it's gonna get difficult. I think the more that you kind of leave it and you come back to it. So I'd be curious if I did a bunch of random like runs and I forced myself to finish, like what the median time. Yeah, you were in the record actually. You were here for it. I literally had a run. The only time that you can save in that run is on pause presses. So good luck with that. Yeah, I'll go get Tetsu set up for Friday the 13th.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me again, Dave. It was a ton of fun. And this is a really fun game. If you have, I don't know how to say this diplomatically, but if you have access to the game, it's worth booting up and playing around with just to get a sense of how difficult it is. I did that, and I played it. I got stuck playing it for a couple hours, and then I obviously gave up. But yeah, it's interesting. But thank you so much for having me, and good luck with the rest of the marathon, and I'll see you all around in chat. Thank you.
Cool. See you, MirI. Take good. Or take care. Yeah, you guys are welcome. Thank you for hanging out. I will go set up Tetsuo. But yeah, that's just like an impossible one, I think. And it's going to be extremely interesting because I submitted this to Best of NES before I even had the record. And I have no idea how that's going to go. But apparently in Best of NES, we're doing Battle Kid, Hard Mode Bucky, or Bucky, and then this wrestling game. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll go figure out Tetsuo. So hang on here. And that probably put us back on schedule, so that works out well. But we'll be back in a few.